Hallelujah! Hey, you already know what it is. Hallelujah. Look, I got it on the go station. Hey, hallelujah! Oh man, no, I'm gonna let it play, but letting this stuff play during anybody who's watched any of my videos in the last couple years, you can see now, I'm gonna say this. I wear glasses not because they do come from like not because fashionably expressive as food these lights, mercury, sometimes because I call them dance lights. These lights start to see that do something whatever. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of having these back here. Yeah, over everything. Yeah, so I'm gonna get this lighting fixed real quick. I don't listen to it. And I just like wearing this stuff because really it's just more, I guess I would call it tribal stuff like that. I like it because I just like wearing it, but it's not my identity. I think that we should all be able to look nice, because really in my opinion, it's God made. So I chose to, He gave me the money and resources and I chose to use it and stuff like that. I do like it, stuff like that. But it's graciously provided that way. This is one of our brands. I'm trying to see, it's one of our brands right here. Right? This is all about YAHUAH. It's actually it's deep what it represents. There's a backside as well, just like this hat. This is very deep meaning. Excuse me. I don't know if you can see that, but I got this one made. I got it made in Detroit at Lids. It was over. It was definitely. It's almost 2 years ago. Just like these ones up here, except for the one in the middle. The hat Detroit. The this has its place in today's markets. This is a deeper story. It's connected. But I started this channel right here today. Um, the ideal or the title of the name of I guess the name is thinking. So the name of the channel is actually something that he guys been working with me on really for many years. But he gave me the idea of it. I think it was like 2000. I want to say 2018, 2017 comes to mind. One of those years, y'all gave it to me. And it really actually is a testament of my journey with God. You know what I'm saying? With my children and stuff in the process of destroying idols. You know what I'm saying? Letting go of idolatries, challenging their very roots of their origins and everything else that is connected to that stuff. You know, the studies, that challenging what they call the New Covenant or New Testament, and to the point where what he's teaching me now, like at first I started seeing like a mirror thing with the Old Testament, New Testament. Okay, my mindset was the New Testament is really just a mere reflection of the Old Testament. It's truth. You know what I'm saying? The Torah, the ancient path, and why we should be part of that ancient path and not wrapped up in nowadays those who is. So, because Christianity, not just Christianity, but all these religions out here, everything apart from God is satanic, it's demonic, it's wicked, it's lies, it's perverted, it's God saving us from this system. Everything that's eating, you see, that makes up the connections and stuff like that. Um, and identifying this specific thing, whether it be human trafficking, whether it be genocide and massacres, crusades, like the 14, 13, 1500s, all the way to 18, 19, to this day. Transatlantic slave trade is still here. So it's the Africans, the Portuguese, you know what I'm saying, the Phoenician, and out of this working labor force. Okay, it's not liquid, it's wrapped up differently, totally different titles for the workforce, the work labor force, this, that, and third. Okay, so it's the same thing. Jim Crow is not as weird, you know, and it's not as weird. They're not. They're incorporated um, possessions, properties of the banking British system. You go into Strawman's Act and stuff like that. You go into John Doe and stuff like that. Persons and releases. But we say human being what? Being a possession of the enemies. You know what I'm saying? Especially talking about God's people. But the title of this video would be His Only Begotten Son. Now, this is where um, I've battled diversity um, coming to the root of the Savior reality, the complex kind of my mind, but I'm not trying to sound like everybody else on this media. I just want to follow God. I just want to seek Him. I just want to glorify Him. I just want to worship Him. I just want to be right in Him and do it right as much as possible. I don't want to deceive anybody. I don't want to be deceived. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be deceived by myself. Been there, done that too many times. You know what I'm saying? With everything, that's pretty much out there. And I just want to use this as a way so we can share our testimonies. My children, myself, my wife, um, and help support and promote our brothers and sisters that work their stuff too. Which is why I went out there and showed Brother's page, heard the music when it was on, and when he instructed me if it's okay or not to play his music in the background, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to find our brethren and reach out to our brethren where I can place the Christian prayers and declarations, you know what I'm saying, that have all these tongues and stuff that are being spoken, you know, and so we know when we're speaking of royal language that's from God, you know what I'm saying, or when it's something it's Babel, you know what I'm saying, it's Babel or demonic stuff. And God had started teaching me about the tongues and stuff like that. Let's say 2016, when I went to a church in Detroit. What's the name? But it was a big, big. It's a big, big church. It's down Livernois and stuff like that. Western Boulevard type stuff. It's a big church. You know what I'm saying? And everybody when you go in there at first it's like everybody starts speaking all these tongues. It sounds beautiful, but as God had been teaching me over time, I asked some people, I was like, isn't there supposed to be an interpreter when you're speaking in tongues and stuff like that? Until he taught me later on. Tongues is literally speaking in your native language. You know what I'm saying? And it's unknown to other people that don't speak your language. Um, so if you're part of America, Americana, American, Capernaum, so on and so forth, uh, ideals and stuff like that, you're speaking English, which is still bastardized form of English. Proper English, you can look up a YouTube video, literally with the title, how to spell proper English, how to speak proper English, and they have like a whole tutorial hours and stuff. You see the phonetic connections between Hebrew, Yoruba, Yoruba, uh, Kenyan, Kiswahili, uh, Bantu, Bantu language, so on and so forth. And it's what God's been teaching me, where the English lingam, Sanskrit, so on and so forth, is literally a phonetic bridge connected to every language. Kind of like, if you think about the Tower of Babel, and then you got the system of Babylon, which is in a way an earth-wide replication in a different way of the Tower of Babel. How people are working together for this one agenda, that they call the New World Order, that they're just now starting to speak of. The New World Order, began Columbus began invading, what I'm saying, these lands, what they call Turtle Island. The gods that they serve, the Quetzalcoatl, which is also spoken about in the Black Panther movie. And the symbolisms and codes that go deeper into that, as far as like being a revelation of Armageddon, the time is for God's for that to manifest in the final battle that will take place in that time. So I say all that to say, because it's like that strategically, because America itself, as a name, is an item. All right, it's sorcery, and the fact that you have these people of these different nations, whatever color they is, they all colonized and hidden our identity as best they could, according to some people, right? And because of our ancestors, Deuteronomy 28, God's opening up everything for us to be, to not only be revealing, or Him revealing Himself to us and through us to the earth and all creation, yet at the same time, He's opening things up to set us free. The Illuminati is they exist, but the light that they carry is not God's light. It's like as someone kind of the connecting pieces of like dark matter and stuff like that, right? Um, they're they're coming with darkness, you know what I'm saying? Um, but when you study light, when you study shadows, um, go into all that type of stuff, there's a lot of things that are connected to the reality of what God's talking about. And one of the reasons that God uses these institutions, different things, the way He does, to guide us into all truth. As He said, I will teach you all things, Proverbs 28, 5, 7, you saying. Yeah. And you go to John 4, 14, you know what I'm saying, or you 14. So this proves the love of the Father that we have in Him, according to 1 Corinthians 13, if we're following His statutes, commitments, and judgments, as the law of creation as a whole, that He governs, and we as His governor, you know what I'm saying, not governor, He's the governor and the commander in chief, just like in the time of Jericho, you know what I'm saying, Joshua. Um, and if you wanna go deeper on that and some things that I'm talking about, you can go to the channel Planet Weird News, which is also directly connected to this, you know, seeing like other channels and stuff like that, and look up. I am using some choice words, all that, this, and y'all's working with me on that because when I get fired up, and I'm just being, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try not to be vulgar, as some people would put it, you know what I'm saying? But I am asking y'all to guide me and help me, give me a replacement word or words for certain words because he's giving me the knowledge and vernacular for it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'd rather use that because it was once in a point in my life where, for this journey, where I actually stopped using, you know what I'm saying, the F bomb and so on and so forth. And it felt amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because part of my motivation with that was all these people that's rapping and cussing and second, third, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to be one of the people that you're gonna hear so much music and this and the third. Crazy guy, talk about what's going on and stuff like that, just in general, you know what I'm saying? And not cussing, as they call it, right? Till I learn what cussing is, and they're the ones that's cussing, you know, what a cuss that is, right? Um, and really, when you're dealing with phonetics and phonesis and phronesis, and breaking down, I guess you would say the hermeneutics of eisegesis and exegesis, dealing with the esoteric symbology of who Yah is and he, who he is and how he is symbolized through how he works through his creation. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying by that is it's not about how we interpret what he says um to be as that's what it's going to be. No, it's what he says. We don't he is the interpretation because he's the interpreter. You know what I'm saying? He's the interpreter of the tongues. So with the linguals that we have out here, it's not always about he's knowledgeable. It's not about that. God's knowledgeable. God make me knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? God help me be wise and give me your wisdom, and that's how he'll help me be wise to be knowledgeable on how to speak in a way that's pleasing and glorifying you. That's where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? And even when being angry or frustrated about stuff, you know what I'm saying? Especially super heated on dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was practicing more and more on not using the F bomb just because I was pissed off. So I wouldn't give people a response and action, you know what I'm saying, reactions to what they wanted. And a lot of that during that time I was dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses and Christians and so on and so forth, and Freemasons and stuff like that, right? And I noticed over time, you know what I'm saying, after dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses, like they stopped coming around me. Like they stopped engaging in conversations. I noticed how some, you know what I'm saying, how y'all was catching their attention that it's like I could feel and see that from what I don't want to say I could read their mind, but that's what it felt like. It was like you know that what I'm saying is right and it's touching you. But there's that pull where it's like you're gonna have to go on that journey for yourself so that you come. So maybe I was just planting seeds at that time or something like that, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not giving any credibility to all these other, indoctrinations and institutions and stuff like that because they don't know God. They're ignorant, right? They're blind. As God said, you know what I'm saying, the prophets are, you know what I'm saying, specifically of Israel in certain ways, but the many of them are deaf, dumb, blind dogs. I mean, you're called but few are chosen, right? And then one thing God was helping me see over time too, where it's like, so many people trying to teach the Bible that it's not for them to speak it or to teach it. You know what I'm saying? The Torah, you know what I'm saying, in the form of history and a history book, as well as the law, you know what I'm saying, of creation for a specific people, and all those who return to the Most High and seek His ways. It's where the strangers, the heathens, come in. You know what I'm saying? The Goyim and so on and so forth, as far as like the strange nations and stuff like that, because they are hybrid nations, and part of them being turned to Yah, you know what I'm saying, by His calling them and forsaking the traditions of their fathers and stuff like that is part of it is because of the intermixing and intermarriaging that happened during the trades and stuff like that that's been going on for so long. They got the dark web and the black market. You know what I'm saying? Just because on the surface level most people don't see it for what it is, don't mean it don't exist. You go to a mafia, you know what I'm saying? You go to a mob or something like that, or a cartel. I was born in a cartel. You know what I'm saying? Literally, you know, and that's one reason why I was taken away from my relatives and stuff like that when I was 2 years old. I, I was taken away from the cartel source. YBI Young Boys Incorporated. If you don't know about them, you can learn about them. You know what I'm saying? And my granddad, you know what I'm saying, was one of the 5 people that built YBI. And what they stood for was straight disgust. You know what I'm saying? I don't support it. Um, and I have no desire for that type of stuff because what I grew up in and what I went through because of what they chose to do by following the same sins and error of our ancestors, you know what I'm saying, according to Deuteronomy 28, it's like, yo, if you could be that wicked and do that much, make that much money doing wicked and have that much influence earthwide, you know what I'm saying, from the Italians, you know what I'm saying, the Italian mafia, from you know what I'm saying, the CIA and stuff was all in that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you got, you know what I'm saying, dealing with people in Canada, you know what I'm saying, people like they was everywhere. It was everywhere. It was everywhere, all over, you know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to see over time like what y'all saved me from. You know what I'm saying? And there was this constant fear of like, oh, they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you, they're gonna get you to talk about it. Like, no, this is my story, this is my testimony. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all did not let me do that. You know what I'm saying? We've been chased by Klansmen, we've been chased by Illuminati, we were stalked by over 200 people for over 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And that was when we was in Detroit. Then when you got we went to Colorado for a whole month for a whole month. There was over 30 people stalking us. I'm talking about white cars and trucks and vans, all tinted windows, pulling up to the schoolyards and stuff like that, disguised as construction worker trucks and all types of different stuff. Black vans with all tinted windows, black cars with all tinted windows. The dude in the black Charger, all tinted windows. White people almost ran me over when I was chasing the Klansmen through the neighborhood for stalking me and my children. You know what I'm saying? By the creek and stuff like that. We lived on South Ironton Street, in Aurora, Colorado, right outside of the apartment complex that we got evicted from. You know what I'm saying? And exposing the Illuminati, exposing this demonic system. You know what I'm saying? Like directly challenging people during COVID. That's one thing. That's when I let go of the title Jesus. That's when I really was like, yeah, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Because when people was like, oh, they said, you know, it comes through the lungs. Like, no, you're not gonna project that curse and that demon on us. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to do the hand language. No. That's a demonic aerosol poisoning bioweapon through chemtrails, aluminum, barium, strontium, iron oxide, coal, and the pesticides and herbicides. You know what I'm saying? Ace forge, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the fire retardants that they be spraying. That's Asian. That ain't that makes the fire go more. If you ever notice when they claim to put out a wildfire, they spray that stuff on it and it gets exponentially bigger. They're doing it with the mindset of you. Okay, just like they're destroying the grain mills, the food barns, and stuff like that, because it's part of their propaganda. That's part of the propaganda. It's part of their campaign of climate change. Right? It's a warfare tactic, starving the people, or drowning the people, or you see, taking their water and stuff like that. All these hurricanes, those are forms of whirlwind, but those are like some things are from God and some things are demonic miracles, so to speak. Let's just say witchcraft. Okay, because there's a lot of demons out there, you know what I'm saying, and demonic prophets calling things miracles, but it's witchcraft, it's sorcery, okay? And with the climate, weather control and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, you study the book of the Bible, and the first and second chapter on through is a very detailed description of these things. So it's an angelic warfare, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? And Ephesians 6 literally describes this, okay? So there are things that is in the New Testament, as they call it, that God's used as ways to undo the sorcery of Christianity and Satanism. Okay, because Christianity is Kukulkan. It's satanic. It's Luciferian. Okay, those are Lucifer's seed. Those are Lucifer's prophets, Jesuit soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Who have sold out to Rome under the guise of 501c3. incorporated, you know what I'm saying, company of the incorporation in British Bank, America. Canada's owned by the British, and American Corporation, American USA, and stuff like that. And over time, we get into some of this stuff. You can look up. It's a PDF. It's called Codex Magica. Now that goes all the way back to the 1200s. The language mix up. So saying that the Bibles that they've made over time, reasons why it's about 500 pages. I'm saying there's another PDF that you can look up. It's called Undetectable Total Mind Control Illuminati Slave. MK Ultra Program, right? Now that one's about 700 pages. Okay. Um, Project Paperclip, Project Blue Book, Project Blue Beam, Agenda 21, Event 201, 2023. You know what I'm saying? Agenda 2030. WHO World, Dr. WHO World Health Organization. You know what I'm saying? And also the projects and stuff like that. Working that goes into working going, that goes into the underground collectors, marketing, the black marketing and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Dark web type stuff, you know what I'm saying? CIA funds all the opiate wars. That goes all the way back to Great Britain and stuff like that. Chinese was and stuff like that. That's reports that dispersed off from that for sure. So I have no sympathy for them because there's all those countries. So can't hurt them. You know what I'm saying? Can't hurt us. They tried, but seeing that God delivered us from them every single time, that proves that. You know what I'm saying? I've had my own relatives try to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I can't tell you how many times with my children. You know what I'm saying? So God, that's not you. I take that one. I'm gonna bring your fart fumes in while I'm doing my work. That's nasty. It's not funny. I don't want to breathe in your tarred particles. What's wrong with you? That ain't the new toothpaste. I'm trying to get away from the funk. They stench things in my chip. So yeah, this is what we're on planet Earth. Okay. Bro's right. We don't need this. And coming from that place of knowing where he's at, what they think have been at for the last several years, like, I don't even go to their protest. I know it's a sign. I know it's a stimulus. It's a way to check the emotional, traumatic. It's a trigger. It's a trauma. It's a trauma trigger. It's MK Ultra program. It's a way to endorse propaganda, right? And targeting the individuals that it's meant to stimulate. That's why they use the black face. You know what I'm saying? More times than not, the face of Israel to run their campaigns. It's like the Black Lives Matter campaign is straight negligence. This man called Unicorn Ray, he goes around and films, different riots and uprisings and stuff like that. And one of the specific videos that he had showed one day that I was watching, they literally did an elemental witch black magic ritual. They like they had the cauldron going, they had the silver, whatever they call that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They had the libation cups and stuff like that. They was instructing people on how to do it. They were praying in the name of the Lord, the God. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see many things from the time that y'all showed me. If Jesus is the one that you call the Master and Lord God, one thing that y'all showed me before that even happened, right? I'm studying the system of Susie, transatlantic slave trade, Jesuit society, the Society of Jesus. Okay. Here, very clearly, the Society of Jesus are Jesuits, Jesuits, okay? Jesuits, the Jesuit, right? Jesu, got to name the J, before the 1600s. J in our lingo, right? And out of it would be like a job or something like that. They added a lot of stuff. learning what they could for people and then, eliminating them. About to drop the F-bomb quick. I'm trying on this video. Eliminating them and taking their identity and their land. All the lands are stolen. Anything that the European lands is all stolen. Even many of the Africans, lands and stuff like that. So-called royalties, like intermarriaging and stuff like that, to make sure that their legacy is preserved and stuff like that, and their company relations, so to speak. Um, that's why they intermarry and stuff like that. Where we're going with this, but I got off track. But yeah, so there's a reason for the phonetic bridging of Sanskrit English. Demonic Sanskrit. I just call it demonic language, regardless, because they say spells, but you gotta really look at the etymology of the word spell and break down the Aboriginal root meaning. Of what it represents to make it clear and interpret something very clearly, right? So if you got all these people speaking in tongues or somebody speaking in tongues, they're not gonna know what you're saying if it's not interpreted. You see what I'm saying? So speaking truth to some people is like speaking in a foreign tongue. Yeah, actually, you can come back down now. Well, I got me a mask right here. I can respirate myself out of that. So evildoers do not understand what is right, thank you, God, but those who seek Yahuwah understand it fully or know it fully. Better is the poor who whose walk is blameless than the rich whose ways are perverse. A deserting son heeds instruction, but let his disgrace is his father. So that's I don't know what version that was. Use this one because evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahuwah understand all things. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness, than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of righteous men shameth his father. Thank you, Father. Yeah. I'm not done, but that's what he brought to mind was the reason why they have the New Testament as they talk about. What I'm saying, is to keep people compliant to being a slave and obeying the rules, the rules of men, the commandments of demons. I mean, the doctrines of demons and commandments of men, right? That's why they call it the rule of law. Okay. They also call what Yah's word is law. They call it the law of the jungle. You know what I'm saying? So they choose the rule of law over the law of the jungle. The law of the jungle is simply the law of creation, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with Tarzan and the colonization of the territories of Southwest Africa and all the other territories that were invaded, right? Just like American Corporation of Turtle Island is being invaded by the millions of different people that's been migrating for the last 2 years, you know what I'm saying, over the borders of Mexico, so on and so forth. And then they're transporting them on buses and airplanes and train stations and all types of stuff, and in cars and stuff too, all across, USA, you know. So part of the economic collapse is they know what they're doing. That's their plan. Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, JDL 15, the military exercises and stuff like that, the lockdowns and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's so they can put up the weaponry, the fencing. It's like hacking, you know what I'm saying? Electronic fencing and stuff like that. With the towers and stuff like that. As they say, Divak, those towers are Divak towers. Okay, this is inscribed on the panels when they put them up, and I only know that because my bro, my sis from the UK, they showed me, they sent me a video of a man putting up those towers. I'm seeing the 5G towers and stuff like that that had to work, that had that on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? The bioweapon that is being released on people is 4 stages to that. One is kind of is like let me see. Okay, and this has happened before. Okay. Um. Uh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So that's one. That's two. That's three. Four. Yeah. Try to put that symbol there. Okay. All right. So I will be breaking these things down deeper than this from what how Yah has taught me over time, just through how I grew up and stuff like that. Certain cartoons and shows that I watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's there's different ways that he'll reach different people. You know what I'm saying? In a way that's like clear because he knows what's gonna what thought is gonna trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dealing with trauma and healing, like God knows how to heal. You know what I'm saying? So basically where I was going with everything was like people was talking about at that time where it's like they say going through your nostrils and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yo, they told you what it was from the start. It was a test. It was an experiment, which they scrubbed clean from the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like it was on the news. Like I remember watching it for myself. You know what I'm saying? Face to face. And from watching that happen, going to the grocery stores, people going crazy stuff, I was laughing my ass off. Like in the store, filming, and I was like, yo, it's a game. Steve Jobs, Illuminati card game. Go research it. It's all scripted. It's a game. Although this is literally the scripture in the book of Revelation where God is talking about He is putting in their heart to fulfill His will. Right? This is part of the destruction by design. Okay. So if all these things done by design, it's going to be removed by design. Um, John 14 for the wisdom scripture and stuff like that, where it talks about you know what I'm saying, like all things and stuff like that. If you love the Father, you follow you obey His word. The sheep, my sheep know my voice, and nothing they will not follow. Right. So during that stuff going on, and people said talking about, oh, they're cancer, or they're this and they're that. Like, you playing with a demon that y'all didn't saying. Like, if Jesus is the Savior, why are you still why are you saying, like, why are you claiming this stuff that the scriptures is telling you not to be claiming? Why are you identifying yourself with these demons, and you're listening to these people in the system in fear, but you're not putting your trust in Him, which means something about that whole scenario of philosophy is definitely wrong and definitely corrupt, right? So they stole our Creator's identity, um, through His people, right? Meaning they stole the name He has given to us, our identity He has given to us, the inheritance that He gave to us. Just it's like, Esau played the same thing on Jacob. That you know what I'm saying, it was a reversal. What happened? Esau sold his birthright. So it was like, no, since I'm not gonna get the move by root or the blessing, I'm gonna take it back by force, and so on and so forth type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Jesus is Esau. Esau's Christ, right? That's why the Pope named himself the Vicar of Christ, right? He who has placed himself and exalted himself above all things that are called YAHUAH. You know what I'm saying? Alua YAHUAH. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the haughtiness of that, Christianity and Catholicism and all the different denominations are the same thing. They're all the same thing. The only difference between Protestants is those who protest against Rome. Okay, although many of those are still practicing the same stuff, though they claim to be protesting, it's just trash. Um, yeah, I want to say Revelation 17. Boom, right on it. Thank you, yeah. Revelation 17:17. For Alua has put it into their hearts to fulfill His purpose, to be of one mind, and to give their kingdom over to the beast, until the words of Yahuwah will be fulfilled. All right, so um, yeah. Now, this being said, Exodus 4:22. In Exodus, Moshe is instructed to say to Pharaoh, "Thus says Yahuwah, Israel is my son, or Ben, my firstborn." So Exodus 4:22. This is prophetically attached to Ephraim, right? Yosef, the kingdom of Israel in Yahuwah, um, chapter 31 and 9. Okay. Um, so 31 and 9. Let's go to that. Boycott the Babylon working system. This is the reason why people can't redeem the time. You don't have time for Yah, so how can He renew you? How can He restore you, regenerate you, be washed and renewed by the regeneration of the Word of God, right? You know, if you don't have time for Him, how you gonna reign with Him? You don't suffer with Him, how you gonna reign with Him? You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah Himself is the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? And if we're talking about His Son in the flesh, He's talking about Israel as a whole house. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. They will come when weeping, on supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way wherein they will not stumble. For I am a father, for Abba to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Now when you go into Nazarene and branch and stuff like that, right? You get into the valley of dry bones and stuff like that, where I think it was God instructed Ezekiel to take, you see, he broke two sticks and he took one of each one and connected together, and that represented the house of Ephraim, the house of Yaakov, or Yaakov, you know what I'm saying, to be merged together as one, right? And we got this again. Okay, we got this again when we go to um, uh, Egypt, Joseph being sold into Egypt, right? It's a very depiction. How is it that Jacob, Jacob, sold Jacob's sons sold one of their brothers, right? And then it flips. Then Yehuda, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Yahoo, you know what I'm saying? Go into slavery. Years later, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what you did to your brother gonna be done to you. You know, same thing with Yahoo and Esau, right? So Esau got, I mean, Jacob and Jacob got the Mubarak, right? The blessing. And then Esau, because he sold his for some meat, some real stuff, right? So, all right. And he didn't find any value or worth in his birthright. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally just in the text. Okay, where was the text? Okay, thank you. Um, 2:6. Ezekiel 37, you know, 17. So this Yahuwah, um, and join them one to another into one stick that they will become one in idea. Okay. So that being said, uh, I wasn't even thinking about certain stuff that just came out in this, you know what I'm saying, for the Romans and stuff like that. Brothers and stuff like that. I hope you ain't doing nothing upstairs that you ain't supposed to be doing. Because I'm gonna find out. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of ironic. Um, now hold them together in your hands. Enjoy them one to another. One. Is that not what happened? It's a direct pattern. Is that not what happened when Israel Egypt was going through a famine? But that famine affected the world according to some um how some text is written. You know what I'm saying? Where it affected the whole world, right? So where does this coincide where they talk about, there will be famine of God's word? There can't be a famine of God's word. He's forever. He is eternal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't just come for a minute and then not exist. The question is, are you able to hear his word and receive it and accept it for what it is, as he is the word made flesh, right? because we are His word made flesh. Did He not speak us and be created us and all that type of stuff and give us a title, a name, a purpose? You know what I'm saying? A position as rulers, princes, a royal priesthood, kings. You know what I'm saying? Sons and daughters. His bride. You know what I'm saying? Um, so who is to sit at his right hand? You know what I'm saying? At his right hand, who is his lawgiver? He's the lawgiver, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But he says, Yehuda is my lawgiver, right? Moab is my washpot. Okay, so it's a place of governance. The government will be upon his shoulders. That's the book of Isaiah. The whole verse describes the identity of promised son. They say, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder. And his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father." Let's talk about the Christ theory is there to cause people to be slaves, to idolize mankind. That's why there's a man on the wooden cross because it takes away from idolatry of wooden gods, demons, satans. You know what I'm saying? Devils, all that heathenistic bullshit, sorcery, incantations, and demonic divinations and stuff like that. Okay, necromancy. Yeah, necromancy it goes beyond just um all these different rituals that they gather together to do stuff with dead people. Necromancy in its totality is a thought process. Because before you do other stuff, as man thinks in his heart, so he is. Out of the abundance of the mouth, the heart speaks. You know what I'm saying? Flow forth the issues out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, flow forth the issues, flow forth the issues of life. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Right. So giving heed to our thoughts. Um, because as man thinks, so he is. Right. As man thinks in his heart, so he is. And what we think is to do that, what you do, right? But our ways are orchestrated by God. You know what I'm saying? We can think about something, but God plans our steps. He has it all planned out. So I perceive it. Yeah. So necromancy through MK also mind control connection. Identifying the spirit with the seed. You know what I'm saying? To literally be healed and delivered from those demons. And taking that in captivity to receive our freedom. Walking in by the authority and power and ability that God has endowed in us, right? It's endowed, right? It's part of receiving a heritage, especially as a royal people. The only royal people that exists and has ever existed on the face of this earth. Okay? Um, and they know that. That's why they walk around with crowns and stuff like that. The royals, blah, blah, blah. No, that's all stolen goods. They have nothing but destruction as their inheritance. You know what I'm saying? All that they have is a testimony against them. It's a witness against them. Okay? They're thieves, they're murderers, the thief comes steal, kill, and destroy. That's colonization. You say colonizing stuff, that's what they're colonizing. They're doing it in Puerto Rico, they're doing it, they did it in the African territories, Nigeria, Tanzania, excuse me, Kenya, the Sudan, you know what I'm saying? Um, South Africa, West Africa, they're going to study the Tarzan and stuff like that, right? The Congos, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria, where they got the word nigger from. You know what I'm saying? The Niger River, the Ethiopian Sea. You know what I'm saying? That they call the Atlantic Sea or Pacific. All that type of. They changed the name of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because Atlanteans. They had this theory of the Aryans and all this type of stuff. Like even when you study their stuff, like you're gonna find so much about who you are and what their agenda is, opposed to God, opposed to you in their own handwriting. The Jesuit Extreme Oath production clearly displays that they hate us flaying our people, burning them at the stake, burning with hot oil and tar, cutting their body pieces off, castrating, decapitating, you know what I'm saying, hanging them from trees, plastering to things like stapling things, you know what I'm saying, um, putting them on a pike and breaking the buck, you know what I'm saying, like they rape people while they dying, you know what I'm saying, after they dead, stuff like that. They did some nasty, horrific shit, you know. And growing up where I came from, I grew up in the trade marketing system. You know what I'm saying? We all have, you know, but there's different levels to it that of certain things that we've experienced and others may not have experienced or as much, or really lose the truth of the whole reality of what it really is as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But from being trafficked from foster home to foster home, you know what I'm saying, those are human that's a human trafficking system. It's a nice way of saying, oh, we're gonna call the child protective services. In other words, the kidnappers of Rome and all the other people, and we're going to traffic your child slave, and we're going to give the you know, saying their owners, their handlers, the money to raise them up in the way that whatever they're indoctrinated with, we're going to make sure that they get that indoctrination right, right. So for being tied up, for being, I got videos on it. I know what it's like to be tortured, literally, as a child. Saying being in the dungeon. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to rape. I know what it's like to be in a coma for 30 days. I didn't even know that you did until years later. I didn't know that I was in a coma. I was what? How old was I? 28 years old, going into 29. You know what I'm saying? Because the dreams I was having that, you know what I'm saying, I just was in the same house and stuff like that. When I was a child and stuff like that. Something that was always going on here. I kept having dreams about homosexual men and stuff like that. Sodomites, really. And you know what I'm saying, like there was one experience that I had was like I was in the apartment and I was sleeping broad daylight afternoon, and there was this black man that was in there, and like I don't know how the hell he got in the house. He was there, and I ran to my kitchen and stuff like that, and then the dude was like trying to grab me, throw me around, and everything. You know what I'm saying, like he was hostile for real, for real. I was trying to climb on top of my fridge. He grabbed me, put me back down, started beating me in my face, like, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in the dream, I felt myself like going under, but I wasn't like going under. Like, I became numb to the blows. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, that spirit got killed. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm very curious as to why I was a black man because the people that I was with, when I was adopted illegally, mind you, this was an illegal adoption. These people were not supposed to have children at that time. I watched they call it the caseworkers and stuff like that come in and stuff like that. Say from Arapahoe, Douglas County, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Taking children out of there. They weren't supposed to have children, but they ended up with four black children. Myself and the three others were us. It was William, Cassie, and Sarah. Cassie and Sarah was taken straight out of the hospital. You know what I'm saying? William, his brother Marcus, he was 16 at the time. He brought his brother William. William came when he was 2. I was watching Rugrats and stuff like that on the TV. His brother pulled up with him. So he had a bottle and everything. So, you know, from all white to all black, and then all hell broke loose. Working on that, but I'm about to come again. Um, you know what I'm saying? And with that being said, being handcuffed to Paul from extension cords to cords, being scalded and scalded hot water showers and stuff that was forced to take to burning my skin. You know what I'm saying? A cold, ice cold ones from drinking out of the toilet after people took a crap and pissed in and stuff like that. Or eating out of trash cans and stuff, baby diapers, shitty baby diapers and stuff like that, ash, cigarettes, whatever the heck they were smoking, you know what I'm saying? People spitting, throwing up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Old food and stuff like that. I was eating that stuff. I was drinking out of those dirty, nasty cans and stuff. I was thirsty. I was hungry. Eating dog food. You know what I'm saying? Wild things and stuff that was growing outside of the yard. My chores was picking out all the weeds out in the entire yard, everything off the fences, everything off around the fences. I'm picking up stalks. I'm talking about stalks this big around, not playing. At 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Out of hard ass dry ground. taken from private school, public school, to chapter one, as they call it, special ed stuff like they call it Title One stuff like that. So regular school, then Title One, then private school, then the homeschool is hooked on phonics, right? Um, so at 5 years old, I was reading chapter books, 500 pages. You know what I'm saying? I'm given 100 words, right? Each of one of those words 100 times each, and a sentence to each one of those words 100 times each. Definition 100 times each. My hands were cramping and hurting so bad. My hands were literally bruised trying to continue to write. You know what I'm saying? So for 5 years straight of this type of stuff that was going on, you know what I'm saying? I was getting beat in my face all the time by Carol Acosta. They call it Cheryl too. It's like Bush, they call it. I guess that's the high direct. Nevertheless, though, I got type. Um, you know, being handcuffed to a pole in the basement where it's super, super cold already. You know what I'm saying? Whether summertime is still cool down there, wintertime is extra cracks in the walls. You know what I'm saying? When we're rain and stuff, where the rainwater go through the run, concrete walls, stuff like that. Frogs down there. Everybody knows the physiology of frogs. You know what I'm saying? Centipedes, spiders, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I'd be home, sometimes I'd be out there in the dark. I was terrified at the first. I was like, right under the stairs. And they had other rooms in the back where now I know what it was, but back then I was terrified because it was so dark back there. They had other rooms that was back there. It was like I knew because I seen it and I felt things looking at me. Like I you can't tell me that they don't exist. There's nothing you can do to explain. They tried drugging me on pills, psychotropic medication, tranquilizers, over 5,000 milligrams of them for 14 years, right? And they still couldn't stop it. Sent me to psychotherapies, those are witch doctors. Always have been. It's a form of sorcery. Look up the word Pharmakia, what it represents in the Greek, essentially. Look up the word NASA in the Hebrew language, the deceivers, with their sorcery. Babylon has deceived the nation with sorcery, incantations, and methods. Why they need all these musicians and stuff out there, or noisemakers and stuff like that, and all these drugs and poisons and stuff like that. They're poisoning the soul, right? That's how they capture the souls. That's how they sell the souls. They make the souls to fly, astral projections and stuff like that. Like mankind is not mankind. Period. That's Genesis 3, chapter 5, then chapter 3, verse 5 through 17. We're working with different kinds of creatures out here, hybrids and little aboriginal. You know what I'm saying? So, hallelujah. But you know what I'm saying? From having my left rib was broken, my left hip was out of place. Um, I still got scars on my feet to this very day. Since I left the house, I still got scars, right? Because I used to dig and pull out the dead skin and the hard skin, stuff like that. My feet was so dry and it got cut up from being outside and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of lack of nutrients and stuff like that, nutrition. My skin began to crack and it burned like hell. Oh my god, it burned like hell. You know what I'm saying? My yacht skin. Um, it burnt like hell. You know what I'm saying? It hurt so bad and it was so raw, but nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? She tried to burn me. She tried to do that too, but she tried to drown me in the tub one day. She was washing my hair, screaming at me, "Mom, they hate you." Trying to drown me in the tub. I'm like, I need to breathe. I'm not a fish. You know what I'm saying? Shit, here, like I could have lost my life that day. The death experience that I did have in that house is how I know Yah's real because their dogs, water them, break up their poo, dug holes to put it in, put it in a bag, and stuff like that. So I took out the trash. You know what I'm saying? Big dumpsters bigger than me. You know, bags 3, 4 times heavier than I was. And sometimes I still didn't get it. So I learned there's a big old trash can outside. So I started memorizing the bags, what was in certain bags when I put them out there. When I put them in the trash, first they had them in the trash cans in the garage and stuff like that. And it made it even more scary for me. But then when they got a bigger dumpster thing, like one of the big ones, like industrial type ones, um, um, like double lids and stuff like that, they make blue or green or something like that, red in some places, whatever, or yellow. Long, long story short, I started learning countless bags, remember where I put them, remember how I placed them in the dumpster so that when I went in there and I pulled this, I broke busted the bags and got something out there to eat, that it would be easier for me to get it and it wouldn't take so long so that I could go out there, I could do that, grab something real quick. You know what I'm saying? Or get something out there while they're not around eating something and they wouldn't notice it. So I was scarfing and stuff down and it got to the point where I was literally regurgitating. I regurgitated back up and then eat it again. And then keep regurgitating it. You know what I'm saying? Like a dog when they eat too fast or something like that. Then all that stuff come back up and they eat it again. And they keep doing it. I was literally doing it. Like it was the point where I was skilled at regurgitating just so I could eat the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the hospital with severe malnutrition, dehydration, and um, my body temperature. I don't know what the average human body temperature is supposed to be. Mine was like they had really 7 blankets. I was still shivering uncontrollably. Okay, this is even after they put me in the hot tub. Um, when I ended up being flown to the hospital, I went to 2 different hospitals, Fort Logan Hospital, and then they took me to Denver Children's Hospital. I was airlifted from that one. That one, that ride, I remember vaguely because I always remember being on a helicopter. I would wait for a second, and then I end up going to sleep. The next thing it was at hospital. Now, people that try to tell me, oh, it was this, it was that, it was on there for that long. Like, I remember certain things. You know what I'm saying? I remember years later being in foster care, having terrible, tormenting spirits bothering me. Like, you can't, it was like I knew no difference between the dream world, as they say, spirit world, and what they call the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's all the same thing. It's just, if you're not connected to see the whole, identifying the connections to see the whole reality, then you're just disassociated with reality. Period. You know what I'm saying? You're not connected, like in a working sleep, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Or as they call it, the matrix. I guess that's the best way that you can say that. So, even when I was younger, I could see spirits. You know what I'm saying? I've seen tormented souls when have their bodies missing blood. You know what I'm saying? Tune up, this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? Different places. You know what I'm saying? Just staring at me in corners. You know what I'm saying? Just staring at me, just watching me. Monitoring spirits, what they call it. You know? And it was times like I was terrified to go to sleep. I was terrified to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I tried to do anything that could do that. Not to go to sleep. Not to. You know what I'm saying? So I was terrified. Um, and over the years, I did develop insomnia. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I have insomnia now, but I can definitely say that there's more time that I spend awake than, resting and sleep or whatever. So sometimes, every now and then, God graces me. Like, it was one time He graced me, like, I slept for 19 hours straight. This was in 2018, 19, or maybe early 2019, something like that. I slept for 19 hours straight. And I remember when I was younger, I slept for 20 hours straight. And there was another time where I almost slept for 24 hours straight. It's been some times, spaciously, that I slept like hours straight. So I had insomnia for years. Um, and, smoking for me helped help that, saying certain things. Um, though I'm not encouraging like I used to smoke because God teach me how that can and how demonic spirits can come in, especially when you're still connected to trauma, demons of trauma or trauma demons, and triggers, environments and so on. I am one of those where it's like I don't mind confrontation, but unnecessary stress. Nah, from my body, I was like breaking down so bad. There was many times that I was sleeping, but it was like an out of body experience for me. Like showing myself outside of this fleshly body. It's like, and I woke up like, like yeah, it's been multiple times. So for real, thank you. I'm saying, and having, I can't get the numbers of how many near death experiences I've had, with out of body experiences. It's just, it's too many for me to try to count over the years. It's way too many. I've seen demonic spirits through other people's eyes, like in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like while we're talking, like, did you see that? Like they would see a whole eye shift and go infused with theirs. Like I've seen this. I see people's eye colors change, the outer rings of their eyes, different colors and stuff like that. I watched their voices change, the whole conversations. Like you have a conversation about podcasts, it turned into some shit like, oh, you remember you used to like Batman? Like, what? Like when you was a kid, you really like Batman. You never did. Like a child was talking to me like that. I'm like, how did you know I liked Batman when I was a child? This was an all ass demon speaking to me through a child, and the child had no recollection of what even happened. I watched them smile at me when the name of Jesus. I'm casting, trying to cast them out and cast them out. Then the third, you know what I'm saying? They smile and laugh. And I watched the person sit there crawl across the room. So I could be a grown woman crawl across the floor so fast in my entire life. Like this was this type of shit. Like this was out. And the same ones that were sitting there talking about what his name was, Yeshua, they calling out all these spirits, blah 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 blah. But I'm like, years later, y'all should be like, I'm not too sure that they were calling out the spirits. I think that they were speaking the spirits into her. They knew how to identify them, and we learned at the house that we lived in at the time. I'm giving you like many different experiences and of my testimony. You've seen along the way. It's like a printing piece. But it's a lot. I got a testimony for decades. Like, I'm not even. Some real stranger things, Ghostbusters, paranormal activity, cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit's out here. Um, so yeah, you know, um, living in a house of frequencies. So it also cleansed. Like definitely didn't go other witness against each other. Like they're very majority of churches out there are being frequencies. You see, I mean, it's a plan thing. You know what I'm saying? They're the builders who reject the cornerstone of YAHUAH is. Okay? I will say this, if there's anything about YAHUAH coming in the flesh, it's him pouring himself into his baptism. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, again, the time of miracle, the ocean, and he, a man in front of him, you know what I'm saying, with a sword drawn, he was like, I don't know who's against this. Who's against this? 5:13. Now when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw okay, October 10th, 2017. It says Yahweh's war plan. So when Joshua asked the men, he was Yahuwah is what we say what we say God in English. Say Hebrew form. And even Yoruba, um, lingam, word for is only God. So when Joshua asked the messenger, he would when Joshua asked the messenger, he was for the angel who he was for. They put he was for the angel answered, type who he was for. The Malak answered, he was neither for nor against Israel. This is why I don't like all these translations, meaning all this different. Look here. Go grab my sword from upstairs. Just gonna get old school. Especially when you put on your body straight like that. Hold that. 5:13. Joshua chapter 5, verse 14. 13, And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said, art thou for us or for our adversaries? And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of YAHUAH am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and worshiped, and said unto him, what seest my the master ran unto the servant? And the captain of the host said to Joshua, loose thy shoe from off your foot, for the place whereon thou standest is Kadesh. But there's Joshua who did so. Now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And Yahuwah said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thy hand Jericho and the king thereof, and the mighty about it. I'm saying these were giants, Nephilim, Raphaim, some Zamzumi, so on and so forth. And ye will compass the city, all ye men of war, and go around about the city once. Thus you will do 6 days, and 7 priests will bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. On the 7th day that you will accomplish 57 times, the priests will blow with the trumpets. And if he said, wash your shoes from off your feet, for the place where you stand is Kodesh ground. It's like take take them off. Take your shoes off. That's like a symbology of comfort right there. Like take your shoes off. Put your shoes off. Don't think what you stand. Oh man, I can't get past that part, yo. It's never got me like that. So, take off your shoes, bro. This is a war against giants. And God says, shoot, when you stand this Codex ground, like, yo, I'm giving this land, all in this in it, into your hands. Here's how it's gonna play out. Seventh day, seven times. Careful, these compass the city seven times, and the priest will blow with the trumpets, and it will compass is able to come to pass that when they make a long blast, the horns will be, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people will shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people will ascend up every straight way. And Yehoshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant and let seven priests bear seven trumpets, brazen ones, for the ark of and he said unto the people, pass by and compass the city, let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the wood. And came to pass when Yehoshua had spoken unto the people that the seven priests bearing the seven trumpets of rams horn passed on before him, but he blew the trumpets in the ark of the covenant, and he will follow them. And the ark of men with the priests that blew with the trumpets in the here were read report was. Read report? Why would they sound like came I never seen it. Came after the ark of the covenant wood. Priests going on and blowing the trumpets. The second day they come to the city once and returned to the camps. So they did 6 days. And it came to pass on the seventh day that they rose early about the dawn of the day, come to the city after the same manner 7 times. Only on that day they come to the same time. And it came to pass on the seventh time when the priest blew the trumpet, the host will say unto the people, shout for you have given the city, and that in the city be accursed, even in all that are therein. Only Rahab the harlot will live, and she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers of the city. God spared Rahab, who was a harlot, and all her house. That was in her house anyway, because she hid God's message. It took heed, like this redemption plan. See what I'm saying? This reconciliation plan. So she was chosen. You know what I'm saying? Like God was favored. That's why it happened. Like and ye in the and ye wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest you make yourselves accursed when you take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel accursed and trouble it. Ancestry in the background. Deuteronomy 28 ringing in anybody's mind yet? But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron and are consecrated unto the Lord. They will come into the treasury of the Lord. So the people shouted when the priest with the trumpets, and it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout that all fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man to his work, and they took the city, and they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass with the edge of the sword. They slaughtered everything that was alive. That's why these people hate us. All their people have been being destroyed throughout time. Beaten. Genesis 3. So the people that were being destroyed were hybrids, nephilim, monsters, bastards, abominations, things that were not supposed to be here. They call it the books and wars of the good. Then you got next, you got Achan's sin, and then you got that's chapter 7 and chapter 8 talks about destruction of AI. So when I talk about artificial intelligence nowadays, you gotta track it back to the story of AI. What happened to AI, the land of AI, the king of AI, and you see what's gonna happen with that. You see their hand. You see their hand. What they did while they lived their time was for real. Leviticus chapter 10. So yeah, even when they're talking about tithing and stuff like that, like how are you supposed to tithe? Tithe was in the land, right? The promised land. How many of you have cows and asses and sheep and stuff? Tithe was to their ground. The first thing flock, right? They're stealing from people. These churches are stealing from people. But they're begging for money. They're stealing from you. They're robbing you. Okay? God rewards us. We work for Him. We're a kingdom. Our economy works different. You know what I'm saying? What else? Yeah. Rosicrucians, Knights Templar, Freemasons, okay, Christian Crusades, the most with the Muslim conquest crusades and stuff like that. That's out of slave trade and stuff like that. It's all the same stuff. It's the same stuff. Right? Islam bows down to a giant sweater, Saturnalia, and it goes into fertility stuff. The deeper you learn about that, you know what I'm saying? At one time I studied Sunni because I was a Sunni Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I practiced with Jehovah's I practiced with Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that. You actually, after this, I practiced with Jehovah's Witnesses, like I said, been around Freemasons, lived with Freemasons, and dealing with, being born into a cartel, and stuff like that. There was Masons all in it, you know what I'm saying? Funded by them too. So, seeing how people were so manipulated through the lack, you know what I'm saying, the suffering to the point where, their desires for all this stuff to find their identity to make them feel like they're somebody. Or you don't have all that in a dog. If it's not just about, if they say family, you learn about cartels and mafias and stuff and gangs, how they operate and stuff and all the different things over time. You start seeing the mindsets and stuff like that of these people and stuff like that. Like my mom at one time, she was like literally, my I don't need any friends. My family's my friends. I'm like, but that's you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not you. You don't get to make that choice for me. She hated that. You know, she wanted to control me. After not knowing her for 22 years, she pops up. You know what I'm saying? On my 18th birthday, on a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Oh baby, you know what this is? I'm like, no, I know I don't. No, this is mommy. I lit up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, wow. 12 years later, after a prayer that I prayed, this happens. So she came back around because she seen there was a process of money being involved, which always messed with me. Because when you showed me that you had pictures of me in different places where I was at, you said caseworkers gave you certain stuff, which I don't doubt that they did. You know what I'm saying? Because before I was adopted, when I was in Family First and stuff like that, you know, I remember a certain caseworker that we had, Miss Louise. She was a very sweet lady, she was white woman, everything. You know what I'm saying? And I you know, Miss Louise, wait, Mercy. That was Captain Gilmore, excuse me. Miss Louise was a Latino type lady, Latina type lady. You know what I'm saying? She reminded me of Roseanne, that show TV Roseanne, like her character and her house setting and stuff like that. And her build, her physique. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? And then having those visits and stuff like that with Captain Gilmore and stuff like that at the social services place and stuff like that. It was a lot. You know, Skittles stuck with me for many years because that was what my last kid. But I had, she had pictures, long story short. But when she popped up with her, the man that she had me with, um, and she was showing me pictures and stuff like it, and clicked until years later. Like, how do you know majority of places? You had some contact with some people that knew where I was at, but you left me there. They forced you, or you willingly through whatever they said to you. You know what I'm saying? To give up your rights. And part of me thinks that it was because of the situation that she was trying to flee from, or whatever the story is. You know what I'm saying? Because the story has switched so many different times about certain stuff. I'm like, whoa, so who the fuck are you people? You know what I'm saying? Who are you people for real? Like, what are your real names? Like, this is how deep it has gotten. Like, what is your real names? Who are you people? And what are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? Because they're known for stealing. They're known for she did it to my older sister. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Try to take her daughter and put her through jail and the CPS stuff. Like she tried these are wicked people. You know what I'm saying? And then after trying to get me killed multiple different times, to the point where when I was married, a Freemason coming, getting out of jail, like this man was calling from prison. You know what I'm saying? At the time when I was married, you know what I'm saying? That woman, and calling with different names, like their sister would call it, so talk to you, call it like being secretive and all. Like I'm like, why? She gotta keep leaving the room to go talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Over time, God was revealing to me. I should have paid attention, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is a woman that's actually giving me attention for the first time in my life. You know what I'm saying? As much as she did, and I was like, I felt home. Even though I didn't know what love was, but for real. So, and then where she came from, it was a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like she had her past too, and it's all because of the same demonic system. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not condemning her, but I don't do her. You know what I'm saying? I hope that she repents and turns to Yah. You know what I'm saying? And hope that she becomes all that Yah created her to be. You know what I'm saying? Because we deserve that. You know what I'm saying? We deserve that. We like our parents chose to be whatever. You know what I'm saying? They made their choices, but we got the right to make our choices too. And if you're always around confusion and stuff like that, like, how are you really gonna get the chance? You know what I'm saying? If I don't intervene, so if he intervened for me, he can intervene for anybody. I think, you know. Um, wow, that's what I think. I want to sit with me for a minute and then sort of stuff like that. Hold up, I need to bring all that stuff from upstairs first, so I can make sure that stuff in my room. Um, everybody got a background, so I'm not condemning her and that. That's between God and her and them and God. died like this, but it says he died like this. You know what I'm saying? I visited his grave site and stuff like that when they, you know what I'm saying, they finally buried, whatever, stuff like that, or clean that stuff, apart from the mortuary and stuff like that, or stuff like that, ready to walk in the floor or whatever, but it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And the wickedness that's coming on, you know, the children of them, all the elders and relatives and stuff like that, it's crazy. Like one of my sisters was murdered, you know, she went on Backpage and stuff like that, which was nowadays MySpace, or the marketplace for sex trafficking. So her being in that with one of my cousins, they both ended up being murdered in the same night. You know, they didn't have any clothes on, so I don't know if they were raped, you know, before they was murdered and stuff in the trunk of their own car. You know what I'm saying? But one of my sisters was murdered. Um, I was in Detroit. One of my other cousins, who she, I guess, from somebody's house, or my mom or a temple, whatever it was, he ended up getting shot up. I remember, you know what I'm saying? My brother and one of my cousins like swinging down the highway fast as shit and scared the shit out of him. To go to the scene and stuff like it was super cold, rain and everything, you know, and then police come to talk to people and said that they're being stand outside. It was terrible. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. And I didn't anyway, you know, but whatever. I seen some stuff, you know, I seen some stuff being homeless. I don't know how many times. Like a lot, you know what I'm saying? One of us was never homeless, especially myself and my children. We spent 2 years. And that from 2019, like 21, December 5th, 2000. Exactly. So, yeah, sleeping outside playgrounds, schools, churches. I've slept outside abandoned houses, in abandoned houses, on porches of abandoned houses. You know, in the first season, we had, was it hotels and stuff like that. Got provided, you know, sleeping in the hospital from time to time. And had people that stayed in the hospital because sick and selling because you guys inpatient and stuff all the time. And they had favorite to have, you know, extra room and stuff like that for them to stay in whatever their relatives, but they gave us the room like that. We slept on the bus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Overnight we stayed at bus um, stations like for hours. Most of these times, next to a part that was on what you call it, a build onto a motel building. Um, finished, but it had walls up and windows, you know, just dirt ground and stuff like that. But I had the money for us to get into it. It was past overnight. Walking around from 12th Avenue in Colfax, 12th Avenue in Colfax, all the way down Colfax to past the hospital. You know, I wasn't about to get my number down. I wasn't about to try to call my foster grandma the 73rd because there was already stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? With them. And it was just, I was getting flack from a lot of people with diverse things. Like, I don't need your bullshit on your words. We need help. You're going to help or not type stuff. I'm the type of one who's like, over time, I was like, you know, I don't even want your help if I got to hear your mind. You know what I'm saying? You need to help people if you don't. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially after like stuff that God's grace us to do for God. You know what I'm saying? So get your attitude up. You know? It's God's always provided, you know what I'm saying? He's always provided for me, working in the system and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I got to the point where I started leaving jobs. So I don't feel like going to work yet. I don't care how much bills I gotta pay. Like I don't feel like going. I don't feel like being irritated. I don't feel like having to rest with my children, stressing and struggling with this. Sitting down in the freezing cold, they don't want to slow because they don't feel tired. They don't feel good. They feel tired. They don't want to get up. I gotta worry about going crack of dawn. I got tired of being in the car. You know what I'm saying? From coming from a place of control the majority of my life, I got to step up. Like, yeah. Not 2019 was my pinnacle point of that. I was like, I broke down in my room, crying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. Like, hearing people dying so much that this person died, that person died. I promise you, when I was in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, for the longest, for the first 7 years that I was to start with, it was like every 2 weeks somebody was dying or diagnosed with some other sickness or in a bad, fatal car accident or shot up or some shit. House being shot up or something, you know what I'm saying? And when it got so close to home, it was like, I'm in one, two bad car accidents. The last one could have completely like, bro, coming to these guys, people know. They demonize me, call me a demon, call me a witch, all types of different stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they all knew that I was chosen to be out. They all knew because they said out of their own mouths. They were drunk and they were sober. You're one of the people that followed after me, called Jesus at the time, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody later, you know, I'm the only one that was catching on super slow. Like, oh, and so they do this stuff. They know this stuff. You know, there was a point in time where it's like, you know, one of the relatives, who's a relative, is a cousin, was like, "Hey, so we're going through all this stuff because you like, I mean, we could be, you know what I'm saying?" And it's like, because I'm not helping you. You know what you're doing, bro. But you don't give a fuck. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what you're doing. Y'all just don't give a fuck. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that you're doing wickedness. You don't care. You know, come to find out, like I know now, you know what I'm saying, that you know, he don't, like, he don't think God exists. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in his mind, it's like all the stuff he's seen and went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, God don't love you. It's like, bro, what you just disappointed. You got a chance to do something different than your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Who was incarcerated for years, you know what I'm saying, because of selling heroin. You know what I'm saying? Selling meth, selling coke, selling weed, and using little children, bro. Y'all use 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? These little niggas carrying around thousands of dollars, 5,000, 6,000, $7,000 a day, bro. For y'all niggas. For y'all grown serial killers. You know what I'm saying? You bully every other gang in the territories. You went over to Boston and everything. You see, take over other gang territories to sell heroin. To build y'all fucking demonic ass empire. And you think that following in their footsteps, saying gang this, blah 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 blah. Bro, no, no, nigga, that's no, bro. That's not that. No, that's not my bro. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell them face to face multiple times. Like I really chose that. Like we're not family. We're not family. That's not what family does. Where I came from, I may have become from a violent world too. You know what I'm saying? A very brutal and very graphic and very violent world. You know what I'm saying? I know what the dark places is like. You know what I'm saying? And these were all mafia people too, cartel people, illegal adoptions that says like make it legal then. You know what I'm saying? Being sold to clans people. I know what that shit is like, you know what I'm saying? Being like in the city, slave plantation type stuff. Beaten with an actual whip, you know what I'm saying? That we bought from the rodeo stock show. You know what I'm saying? I got to pick my own whip out. Hey, not every slave gets to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Burning cigarettes out on my flesh, turning my ears until they bled, being duct taped to high chairs, being knocked out with the high chair. Then when I wake up, then they do whatever they gonna do from there. Pick his blood and clean all this up. Like I gotta clean up my own blood, my own spit, my own feces and stuff like that. Like I'm living in this type of stuff. You see, and I'm shitting in the same basement that's my dungeon. Then I gotta clean everything out. There's all growing down here. You know what I'm saying? Like the health conditions I was in, being tied to a dog harness onto a door. This door not being open and closed, open and closed, open and closed, shoved into my spine. Shaved all my hair out to the point where I had scar marks, cut marks from fucking razor blades and things swimming across my head. Get the fuck out of here, man. Funny thing is, when I was going to church at that time, it was the first time I heard about Jesus. And this is why I stuck to it so much. Because it's like a while later, that night when I take out the trash, I'm in the middle of the yard. I look up and I see something moving. This might go something crazy to me. I don't give a fuck no more about none of it. Because I know what I know. And I know that what I know is the truth. It's God. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's all there is to it. I look up, there's something huge above me. And it's moving. I can see outline. A shadowy outline. Then I started getting I hear a voice say, be gone. And I started looking at the house, at the window, people playing tricks and stuff, trying to scare me and shit like that. So I'm looking at the window. I see nobody here. I hear nobody. I look in front of me, across the yard street. I see a little street light, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see nobody walking, nobody talking, walking no dogs, none of that. Then all of a sudden I start feeling super dizzy. And the dizziness that I felt was like my body was rocking forward and backward, side to side, all at the same time. Like one move. And it was like one of those, like if somebody just picked you up, I don't know what they're called, but they're like the little things up, like those things, the toys from the 90s and stuff that they had crazy colored hair and stuff like that. You pick them up, you know what I'm saying? They make that type of sound. And that's what I felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like my body was like somebody just picked me up and like at the same time. Different. Um, then all I know is I fell backwards. It didn't hurt when I landed, but I fell backwards. I was just in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, so next thing I know, everything turned. Then I see like a street lamp that was different from the one that was across the street. That one was like a white, soft white. You know what I'm saying? You can see the house and stuff. This one was like a hard midnight yellowish orange type. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I seen that, and then in front of me, past that light was the street. Then look to the left, same thing, straight black. I look back to the right, to the in front of me, and I see a little white light far off, like as if it was a star or something. And I look to the left again, and I see a little white light. I look back in front of me, and that little white light started getting bigger, bigger. Like it was like you're going down this super dark hallway, and the lights like begin to turn on everything until it reaches you. Like everything's like flooded. Like, whoa! But this light was like it's like it was rushing at me, it was running at me, like some Broly versus Goku type stuff. Like it was there. And next thing I know, I heard literally that's the sound that I heard. Like it's like a wind. Like everything was so white, like super white. There's no snow on this earth that is whiter than that white. I don't care how many times the sun. I don't care how many times the sun, how bright it can be, shining on the purest whitest snow. This was way brighter than that. I've never seen a white that's been that white ever in my life at that time. I know now who it was, what it was. Yeah. And then I see this gold, yellow, transparent outlining of something that was moving in that white. Next thing you know, I start waking up and I turn my head from the left to the right where the house is at on my right. Paying attention to the story and the details, you'll see y'all all of it. The whole pattern of it, like everything. Freaking deep. And I see the light, the outline of the light of the ruin getting brighter. And the silhouette of two people coming out of this woods character. Right now, like, what are you doing that? Where you been? You've been gone for over 15 minutes. You need to hurry up, get inside, get inside. There's somebody here to see you. Somebody coming on, or somebody's coming to see you. They rush to give me some clothes. You know what I'm saying? Rush to get me in the shower. They rush to get me in the shower. They get me some clothes. They cook me a nice ass cheese. Boy, that boy shit. Like that many days ain't got nothing on. Tell my Latina Mexican cheeseburger on the spotlights. Whoops, whoops. Like, man, they pepper that boy up. I'm like, damn, what the hell, nigga? Like, a nigga just gotta fall out like that to get a cheeseburger around this bitch? Damn, I was just eating out the trash not too long ago. This ashy ass motherfucker with macaroni and cheese and shit. Damn. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, take me in, get my shower, put some clothes on. They put me back in the basement. Second stair from the top. I'm in leisure time now, baby. I'm on vacation in there, in wherever, anywhere but fucking there. You know, warm. That's how I was feeling. And open the door, give me the cheeseburger. I'm like, stairs. That's when they give me one. Like, you know, put some more, eat this, put some say, put your clothes on. Somebody coming to see you. Don't tell them anything that we've been doing. It will give you back all your clothes and poison your staff. So I was like, I'm a child, like what's the deal, Stu? You know what I'm saying? Like, about to get some snacks. Hold up. Shannon. Right above home, Douglas. Starts talking, you know, she comes towards me, starts asking me some questions. She was taken to the parlor room, which was right across from the basement. Parlor, that's country. They have swinging doors too. You know, some fresh talk out of this. It's not negative. It's not negative. It's like that. It's not, it's, I don't think I've been to another place that's more magnetic. Um, come in, ask me something. You know, I start asking some questions and stuff like that. And she started asking me, you know, saying, can I look at your back? You know, look at the shirt and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't remember all my thoughts, but started going up, she started saying stuff. Now I had fucking welts on, scratches, I had scars, I had like open cuts and shit. I had scabs. I still had fucking fresh ass burn marks and stuff like that. So like my body had a good time to my back was over time, pigment started coming back and stuff like that. Like white blotch spots, like you know what I'm saying, scars, stuff like that. And my back was covered on my side. I still got one mark right here I don't know if I can see it, but this mark right there, that's still one of my scars right there from a cigarette being ashed out on my body. Um, but yeah, I had a broken left hip, a left, a broken left rib, and my left hip was now for my left rib. I still have evidence of that. So this one right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, hold on, trying to get away from that glare. Like you see that, you see the bone right here, right there, yep, right there. See that right there? That rib was so damaged that somehow, or whatever was broken off, like it fused with one of like this other set of ribs. Like this is like a massive rib fusion going on, like right all of it, and that's part of the bone that healed on the small that was like from under. It's like it was broken, and then when it healed, it fused one of my ribs. Also, that. So yeah, it's amazing how a burnt mark can stay on you, a scar for that many years in that bone there. And then years later, apart from the abusive stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up having a spinal injury, you know what I'm saying? Where it was two discs that was like really, I don't remember how y'all said it was in the dream. But it was my king that was like literally pressing on my spine like a chiropractor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like I got encounters for days. So I don't care what nobody else talking about apart from this. Like, I know y'all works with these things about the kingdom and stuff. And they really great. I've heard in my dreams, you know what I'm saying, Michael calling out to Gabriel to assist him in some help. You know what I'm saying? I heard Michael talking to Lucifer. You see what I'm saying? And calling them out. Like I've had Mother King standing over my body and sitting over my body, holding my body on their thighs. It was a woman at that time. She's sitting there looking up and somebody she's screaming, but she's singing, but she's screaming at the same time. It's like Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Like she was like it. I'm trying to hold back tears because it's like certain things is hitting me different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to y'all because it's like, bro, people don't you really gotta be there to experience this stuff and encounter this stuff to really grasp the magnitude God is diversely and then come from a place where I hate it, you know what I'm saying? Because just like the relative, like all the stuff I want to do, and it's like I felt cursed. You know what I'm saying? I literally felt cursed as for years I kept saying out like you know what I'm saying, like why they curse me? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's family, but I don't get it. They sit there and they willing to kill each other over some money and dead man face on a dead piece of tree for a dead ass system that produces the same thing as death. You know what I'm saying? And people like you actually appreciate it. It's like you don't want us to have much. We have something good, you take it away. I didn't realize he was protecting us. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't seeing it like that. I was like, oh, you know, got something that I can connect with now. It's like you take it away because I was like all my life, that's all I know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew was having something that was pleasant and nice to me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I could see, and it was taken away after, you know what I'm saying, either quickly or after a time and whatever. But I didn't know it was God revealing to me the truth of the hearts. You know what I'm saying? Which was connected to some of the dreams that I was having, demonic attacks, stuff like that too. I've had demons with their fingers in my dreams, and then I wake up with on my flesh, scratches and stuff like that too. You know, what I'm saying? When I was maybe like She woke up with fingerprints on her back that weren't my fingerprints. I was nowhere near her back, let alone my hands being there. She'd been kicked off the bed before I was sleeping. I've been, whereas like in that waking dream where y'all get me busy, however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I just said I'm connected between both worlds, like that. Though, you know what I'm saying? Both realms. You know, I don't know, it's just different. So I don't know how to explain that. But I know I'm connected to God, and I know that we have a powerful connection that I myself have not fully grasped in the comprehension. You know what I'm saying? Even as far as like being more group, like I hear all the time people like you just don't know God bless you. God bless you. You don't know God bless you. That's the point. Like I really I don't. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to a point where people talking about I will. You know, when people sitting there talking about like you're blessed, you're blessed, you're blessed, and it's like I felt more cursed than blessed. You know, and I hated God because the only thing I've ever asked for was a family. You know what I'm saying? My family and to be whole, to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be understood like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be heard. I want to be respected. I want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to feel wanted. I want to feel like I matter. You know what I'm saying? I want my children to feel like that. I want to feel like we're relevant. You know what I'm saying? Not just somebody, oh, you got a lot of knowledge, or you have good ideas, and it's like you throw us in the trash for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You only run us to use us, and then you're done using us. Y'all disappeared. Then when you're going through some shit, then you want to come back and contact you with some more, and run off again. Like, come on, bro. I'm 34 years old. I mean, like, you can't tell me that I have to live a whole lifetime of barely feeling like I'm whole. You know what I'm saying? Or like I don't matter. It still be at times where I had struggled, at times where I asked you, I'm like, do you love me? Because I'm being attacked by freaking demonic spirits or masculine spirits where I can feel them touching on my private area and stuff like that, to the point, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally nutting. You know what I'm saying? At my sleep, I think I'm like having sex with a woman in my dream. But I'm getting ganged up on by incubus, succubus spirit. You know what I'm saying? But I can feel this, whoever the fuck is projecting themselves into my room, in my bed, touching on me. You know what I'm saying? And these random homosexual fucking sodomite spirits and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Showing up and shit, and calling my name out of nowhere. Like who the fuck is talking? Who's calling me? Where the fuck is you at? And I hear you calling my name. You know what I'm saying? Where are you? In the earth, where are you? So I know witchcraft exists, and I know how witchcraft is down. You know what I'm saying? I remember my first covenant I made with him when I was a child. And I did that because I felt like demons were my friends because they're the only people that stuck around. That's all I knew. They were the only ones that watched over me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know no difference. Like I was too old being visited by a demon in a foster room. Waking up 1, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock a.m. You know what I'm saying? Going out to the backyard. I'm 2 years old, bro. I'm opening the slide doors and everything in the backyard. Close the door. Then I go sit on the little playground, jungle gym and stuff like that. The teeter totter. And this fucking thing that looked like the Alice in Wonderland Chastire cat manifests itself on the other side. It's in there talking to me. I'm like, what the hell is it saying? Right? I don't remember. But I remember that's whispered and ugly ass smile and laugh before it disappeared. Next day, all hell broke loose. You know what I'm saying? I remember my foot getting slammed underneath the door to the garage. People trying to hold me in the garage and stuff like that. It was cold and shit, playing games and shit, bullying and shit like that. I had to go to the hospital because my foot was cut so bad. I had to get surgery. I remember being in the hospital where everybody's looking at me like I'm some fucking shit from Twilight Zone or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Nurse on this side preparing this whatever the fuck they're trying to put in me. This one on this side talking about, oh, just look over here, give me possible grab this distracting you. While two others standing in the middle of the doorway. And I'm like, what the in my mind as a child, I'm like, I didn't know how to articulate my thoughts. It's like, here, here, here. Why are you trying to distract me from what's popsicle eats. Like, I was terrified of needles. Like, I fucking went ballistic. I'm talking about, I'm kicking you. I don't even know how to fight, but I'm punching, I'm swinging. At all costs, I'm getting the fuck on. I'm getting beat the fuck out. Okay. I got tattoos. I really got tattoos. One time I got paint, I cut on myself. I still got traces of the scar. Healed up pretty well over time. I got to take care of myself, loving me, help me loving myself. Where I lived a bit of home, it's a bit of home in my life. It's a home. Like, to the point where I can literally, like, there's a plug. Yes, that is. I used to punch myself in my nose to bleed, to see how much I could bleed, and either A till I started feeling, faintish, where it's like I got to faint, or so I can just let blood run and trickle down my throat and drink it. That's partly how I ended up having bloodthirst addiction. And it got to the point where I was not only tasting my own blood, but I got curious about other people's blood at the same time. And I just love seeing the sight of blood, and a lot of blood really caught my attention. Inside of me, like I was watching it bleed. And the smell was so powerful. Like, to this day, it would still be a time where I can taste blood and it's not me bleeding. And I might call somebody or talk to somebody like, hey, you want something? Like, I taste this, and it's like it's something. Like, it's that powerful. I know somebody else goes through, really feel cool with, but I can taste the liquor that they was drinking. It's that kind of, it's that deep, you know. I used to take knives and stuff like that, hurt myself a bit. I took a razor one time and carved into my eye. Looking at it, like I didn't want to hurt myself, but I wanted to hurt myself because it gave me attention. Feeling noticed. Like I existed because I didn't know what I was. Like this is what I lived. This is what I was when I was asking towards God. It was like I didn't even know what I was. I'm called honest, called crazy, called schizophrenic, called stupid, called demon, called witch. Nobody puts you. They hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they gave you up. I'm protecting people that I learned years later. That is actually the absolute truth. You know what I'm saying? When it came back to my when that didn't go their way, fucking go to the streets. Take this from take that from them, turn everybody against you. Talking to turn individual stuff, you know what I'm saying? The blackmailing, you know what I'm saying? Like the gaslighting and all that type of stuff. Turn everybody against you. They didn't even know me. Random people coming out like, you sure you like why the fuck are you asking me about this shit? Who the fuck told you this shit? First problem. So now I'm gonna visit y'all motherfuckers, house to house, and that's how I got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started visiting people in their houses. I didn't have no guns. I didn't usually have no weapons. That's like if I heard my name out of somebody's mouth, they act like they whisper and shit. I started calling people out on the spot, on everybody. I didn't fuck what your background is, what you got. I don't give a fuck how big you is on this shit. Like this shit don't bother me. You see, like I got to the point to get there. It's like, yo, if I hear somebody say this, that I'm going to your house, bro. I'm going to pop up at your house. That's just how I go. I'm popping at your house. Your mama said I'm going to your mama house. Daddy said I'm going to your daddy house. Grandma, I'm going to everybody's house. I'm asking everybody. I'm questioning everybody. I'm hearing what everybody's saying. Putting together everything in my mind. And I will repeat back to every fucking conversation we had, the whole conversation with every person I had. Weeks, months later. I will run it. I'll give you the fucking rundown as soon as I feel like so to the point where I can't hold in no more. Somebody come at me fucking. I'm gonna walk on everybody that's in my space. Everybody gets smacked the fuck back. Period. And this is where it started. those different people and regurgitating the exact same words from what I said, what they said, the why I said it, because they said this and how they said it, that, this, that, the third, the time. Bro, I was trained as a child to remember things. MK Ultra sleeping programs. I was trained in these things as a child. The brand games that they put out, the fucking stickers and shit with the wires and stuff that they put on your skull and shit like that. Sometimes they cut your hair and shit, putting it all on your body, hooking you up to a monogram and all that different shit. You see in the computers and stuff. And fucking, man, the IVs, the blood levels, the CAT scans, the fucking neurological needs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The puzzles, the ink blotches, all of this shit, man. All of this shit. Remember the senses, sensor and stuff, and then talking to you, and okay, if you remember what I asked you the first 2, 3 thing, this is a fucking programming thing. This shit is fucking real. It's real life Nazi shit. Real Russian sleep experiment shit. Like we believe that sleep experiments for real. We've done that shit. They used to give us video games to play with, you know what I'm saying? And all these different snacks and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and then or you can't eat a certain amount or certain things, whatever, or sometimes at all. You know what I'm saying, but you gotta stay all night. They give us for a specific time, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's 32 hours, sometimes it's 72 hours, sometimes it's 24 hours, sometimes it's 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? You can only if you eat like applesauce or certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because once they test you, they come to testing and stuff like that, they don't want you vomiting up for real, for real. So they gotta give you something, you know what I'm saying? So like they this shit is real, man. They track and target and monitor all that shit. They gonna put you in a whole body CAT scan to monitor certain things about you. You know what I'm saying? I remember all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the hearing test, um, the shock tests, they call them shock treatment, whatever. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Smell tests and stuff like that too. And they use for us, for you know what I'm saying, it's true they use like little games and stuff. It's to hide it, you know what I'm saying, what it really was. Now that I know what it really was, it's like, bro, being, you know what I'm saying, psych wards, you know what I'm saying, and then residential treatment centers at the same time, and group homes, and regular foster homes, and from fucking legal ass adoptions and shit like that. Like, especially when they know who you are, they know where they're going to place you. You see what I'm saying? And I was a piece of leverage and collateral to them on both ends. Somewhere near my mom just fucking gave up, or she didn't fucking care to begin with. One of the two. I was with she didn't fucking care. Because at first I was like, she just gave up because she was tired, and I sympathized with her. Then when after a year, I talked to her about how I felt about everybody in my mindset that y'all literally, I had to leave. I had to leave. I had no other choice but to leave. Otherwise, it would have been bad for everybody. It would have been bad for everybody. Like, it would have been bad for me too, but I would have been satisfied. That's how bad it would have been. There's no need and no way for somebody. It's not right for somebody to be satisfied in the mindset that I was in the outcome. So it's like it was best. God protected me yet again, and them, and they didn't know that. This time around, it was different. But anyway, I waited a whole year, a year and a half before I reached out to her again. I thought we was getting somewhere. We were finally talking. I learned things about her childhood and how she was abused and used and molested, you know what I'm saying, by relatives and stuff like that. Like there's a whole fucking, there's a lot of bad shit. Like incest and shit, it's all types of shit. Like most people in the relatives, they don't even know too. They don't know if they cousins. They don't know if they brothers and sisters. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Are you really my daddy for real? Are you really my mom for real? Like they don't fucking know for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Because all they know is drugs, murder, you know what I'm saying, the cartel shit and secrets. You know what I'm saying? But over time I learned all the secrets, stuff that on sides that I didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? The hatred that's in them, the jealousy that's so deeply rooted in there. You know what I'm saying? On top of everything else. And then the vengeance squad, you know what I'm saying? Like one of my cousins, her name is Angel. Like they tried to kill her. You know what I'm saying? They tried to blow up her house, thinking she was in there. And she wasn't at that time, thankfully. You know what I'm saying? So it's hit squads on that type of stuff. And that's why I'm not for that. You know what I'm saying? I have an anger and a hatred towards the system because it's wicked. And what y'all revealed to me, I see why they acted, but there's no excuse for you to continue to act that way. You know what I'm saying? When there's examples for you to do right everywhere around you. Even when you watch TV, you know what I'm saying? There's always some type of example, so there's really no excuse. You know what I'm saying? And y'all being elders, 50, 60, 40, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do I gotta talk to you like you're 2 years old? I just want to talk to you then. Not no more because my days are blowing up on you. It's over. You know what I'm saying? I grew out of that because like it's not getting anywhere. But me being stressed out, then I don't want to be stressed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stressed person. I'm not a stressful man. I don't like all that unnecessary arguing and fighting and debating and just stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? The mind games, shit like now, I play mind games, bro. Fuck around and find out you put in your own mind game and don't even realize that you was put in it to play it in it by yourself with yourself until you find out. That's just how it goes. You want to play mind games with me, you're gonna lose. You will lose every single time. You always expose their plans and other people's plans. People like you can see the terror in their eyes, like how did he know this? Like verbatim, step for step, like how did he know this? Like he telling me, you're not gonna block y'all. You're not gonna block me from it. We've tried. Y'all are sending out gangs of witches. Yeah. Some things I don't even know if I should say because it's like you talking about 200 people in the flesh, apart from those who ain't walking around in the flesh like that. So, Yah is my power. I don't have that apart from it doesn't exist apart from it. It doesn't. This feels like a documentary, like a monologue, dialogue type documentary, literally right now. I can't hold it in anymore to where it's like, oh, let's not talk about this because people are gonna think this. I don't give a fuck. I care about. I'm more concerned about people being free. You know what I'm saying? People knowing it's okay to feel worthy. People knowing it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to keep saying everybody's a sinner. Abraham, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Born a sinner. You're born into sin. You have to be taught that. People don't know, they don't know words until you taught how to speak words. You know how to write if you're not taught how to write. You have to have some exemplary process to do that. Due process. Do you? You know? Yeah. People are taught hatred, classism, fascism, uh, racism. Racism is you're murdering a certain part of creation for whatever purposes. That's racism. After their kind. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, racism is Genesis 3, chapter 3, verse 7, 17, and all those other things that was going on. That's racism. Those race wars. So put it in its proper context. Or shut up. Bow down to you who will willingly, or get your freaking kneecaps broke backwards, and you're gonna be forced out anyway. Pick one, choose one, but you still got one choice. You're gonna get touched regardless. Every piece of clothing we got is Yah's. Your name, the title, the phonetics, the breath is Yah's. We don't fucking breathe oxygen. You breathe in Yah's breath. It's a gift. We're given. Stop trying to choke the supply chain off of it. Everybody wants to be God. I used to be in that category too. Then I came to the point where it's like, in a room full of gods, God, can I just be a man? Can I just be can I just be a human? Can I just be a human? I don't fit in. I tried forcing myself to fit in with them, and I still was rejected. Tried partying and drinking and popping pills, being addicted to pills because I was already on pills for 14 years anyway. I had high tolerance. I mean, there's some ecstasy along with that. You know what I'm saying? Along with what Opanas, Tylenol sixes, foes, all the narcos, bath salt. You know what I'm saying? And liquor and wine and beer and weed. You know what I'm saying? Then that other K2 shit. You know what I'm saying? That it was hype for a while. Um, Salvia. But anyway, oh yeah, a little bit of codeine, promethazine, the Theraflu, stuff like that too. Then I learned how to make my own lean, homemade, with no codeine, promethazine. How that happened was literally by accident, but I know how to make it, um, but I don't. I got to the point where I wanted to get high and stay high, low really, um, and let it last throughout the day. But through that journey, I was still reading the scriptures. I was still praying over time as God continued to open himself up to me, love on me. You know, I was addicted to pornography for a long, long time, heavily addicted to it. And um, sometimes I had to get sicknesses in my body. People gave me sicknesses and stuff like that for being out there with everybody else and stuff like that. Yeah, healed me from all of that. You know what I'm saying? Completely, not a trace. I went to the doctors, they blood tests, piss tests, and all that type of stuff, saliva tests, and nothing came back to anything. You know what I'm saying? Being wrong, none of that stuff. They be like, you're healthy as a horse. So God's healed me. You know what I'm saying? Give me the steps of the gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? It was a vegan diet for 6 months, vegan vegetarian diet for 6 months, and then, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff. So it's been processes, you know what I'm saying, showing me the difference and stuff like that. So it's deep, man. It's deep. But in all that time, studying. I was studying war since I was 14. You know what I'm saying? Still studying the mechanics of how war is and how it works and stuff like that. But so why? Why is everybody so fascinated with war and destruction? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, bro? It doesn't make sense that you're like, oh, let's destroy creation where you can go get your food off the trees and off the plants and stuff like that and off the fields for free in overabundance for all creation. Let's destroy all that and make jobs to make things easier for people. Like, what the fuck? You don't think at all, do you? Like, you're not sophisticated. You know that, right? Like you the dumb niggas, nigga, for real. You know that, right? Does he not? Do they not know this? Why they don't know this? They be like, who's he talking to? You fucking morons. You gotta talk like that because y'all don't fucking listen. So, I get more attention out of a door. So let me talk to the door. Or let me talk to the wall or a rock or a tree or something like that. There was a scripture where they talk about, preach the gospel, the Bazora to all creation. So it's like, oh yeah, I took it there. I sure did. Right in front of people's faces too. I obviously we had a whole conversation. And it's like in the midst conversation, right in the character. Yeah, they look at they they look every time. It'd be funny. They be looking like what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, you missing the whole point. Like we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We got to do better. We gotta do better. I don't think it's safe for me to have a ruler. Even though this is not a ruler, but they used to carry these. Theirs wasn't like broken like mine is, but the meter sticks and the pointer sticks in school and stuff. Oh yeah, they all about that life. That's what they remind me of life. Johnny, wake up! Books flying, pages flying, and halfway ripped. Like you got to pay for that book, right? It's like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what teaches me. In order to be healed, you got to allow yourself to make yourself feel how you feel. Because you feel how you feel. Like enough of this stuff, people like, hey, you just put me offend somebody. You don't fucking do the shit then, and you won't get offended. Don't support the shit that's offensive, and you won't. Y'all's offended. How the fuck you not offended by this? How many people gotta be genocided? You know what I'm saying? Like how much genocide has to go on in the name of holy wars, political bullshit. Monopolize by colonizing and the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Before it really touches how many people have died before that's what I had asked for years. How many of your people have to die for you to make a choice to do the thing that is the most scariest, boldest, courageous, awkward, unsocially, you know, sensible thing. Standing out looking crazy because y'all said do this, that. You know how I feel walking around on red robe like Moses, stabbed in my hand for 3 years. 3 years. Walking in hospitals, police stations, being stopped by police. We're learning about shaking. Not the weirdo. Anyway, maybe it is some people. I don't know. I looked it up one time that was anyway, and if we talking that we talking, if we not doing this work, then hasta mañana. Hasta la vista, baby. Get the fuck on. Period. Um, deep. Then you got to the point where it's like, man, people just really hate peace. You hate God, you love this. Then you got to the point where relatives and stuff like that. Where it's like, last account that we had, the kids watches. Long story short on that part, I think I'm cutting myself on a knife. Ironically enough, or maybe not, weeks beforehand, or a week or so beforehand, I kept hearing there will be blood, there will be blood, there will be blood. And that's the point where I started getting scared. I'm like, yeah, what did I do? What did I not do? Like at this point, I'm like, yo, anything I put on my heart, speaking, like, yo, God's trash. They're all gonna die. If you serve them gods, you're gonna die too. God's wrath is coming. War is coming. People dumb as fuck. I'm calling everybody out. I don't care who it is in their face. Whatever. I've been calling out Illuminati for years, so they know it. That's why they banned me from Facebook multiple You know what I'm saying? Calling out my name and organization and connections. I don't give a fuck about this. You know what I'm saying? You're a devil, you're Satan, you're wicked. You are against God. That's just how it is. I'm against you. Duh. You know, hallelujah. You didn't save me. You weren't there when I was crying my eyes out, rocking myself to sleep. You say crying so much, my freaking tears is hot as crap. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, I don't even know that I went to sleep until I woke up. I didn't even know I went to sleep. You weren't there with me catching me and stuff when I'm falling asleep, standing straight up, talking to me. You weren't there to catch me when my body was falling. Sometimes I'm literally standing straight up, even though I'm around standing straight up, falling asleep. I'm sitting down, falling asleep. I didn't even know I was falling asleep until I realized I was falling asleep because my body hurt somewhere. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know I was asleep. I'm looking at TV or just sitting there thinking or something. That's how I got my first car wreck. Part of that was dealing with CPD. What it takes the first time. I was like, the whole thing. And I was asleep. All the time I was good. Just straight up disrespect. All these people, all these ministries, just one, this big ministers. Not speaking Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Then what the fuck you talking about? You know, um, I don't want to be associated with pride. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. It's definitely not. People that I wanted to be friends with. You know what I'm saying? That I see value in. I see who God was creating them to be, and then you know what I'm saying. And they didn't. I didn't even see them myself as God had certain a lot of things that through healing those traumas and facing those, I felt screaming like I'm telling you, I was in the field at times, daytime, nighttime, screaming loud, crying my eyes out until the point where I literally felt behind his mother king literally standing around me, like the whole environment looked like it was augmented or something like that. Like I knew it. Like they was like, yo, we here. You know what I'm saying? So God and his mother king comforted me over the years. You know what I'm saying? And with me, like made their presence known. Like you know, even walking up the street, sometimes you feel them walking into like, all right, I know you're here. God. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all here. I can feel y'all. And it's not just like crazy people walking like no, like they big, yeah, they big, and they here. You know what I'm saying? They like a protection squad for real, for real. And we roll deep. I know I know that I know. You know what I'm saying? There are millions of Malachi around me alone at all times. Like heavily guarded. I know like the reason why I'm battling a lot of these demons through bloodlines, letting stuff go, and repentance and stuff like that, breaking old covenants and the altars and the idols and stuff like that, and challenging those things. You know what I'm saying? So those spirits, like they mad as shit. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, like they expose not only to me, but through me, God's exposing them to other people. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want people to be free. They don't want to let people. It's never been about money. It's about blood and soul. This is why it says that in the New Testament, the blood, it talks about the blood and spirit. The blood is the life of the body, right? YAHUAH is the breath of God. You know what I'm saying? not then that in that, you know. I just want to make that clear. Not in. I'm not saying not then that. I'm saying in that. So it's way deeper than what people can. It's too deep, like you said. Like go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. I'm like, it's deep, it's deep. It's like I thought, a couple months ago, and yesterday was deep, and it's like it's deeper than that. You mean there's more? Like how deep does this truly go? And I was like, too deep. Oh. So how do I separate, let go of all the Christianity back rap and keep on to all the things that you revealed to me, and I didn't help me identify the connections? And what is the purpose of keeping this stuff to the point where it's like what do you really, really, you know what I'm saying? And I see what I'm permitted to see. It's well known. Um, that's why the name that he's given to me is not. It's not about me. It represents him. And even what he put in my heart to ask for and pray for, you know, saying in his wisdom, for his wisdom. You know, saying we're like one vision. It's not vision. You know what I'm saying? Or it's no vision. That's all there is to it. It's not vision or it's no vision. I'm saying it's Yahweh or no way. We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of Yahweh. But that don't mean that we are going to continue to learn or we have to. It's not an obligation. You know what I'm saying? We have a choice. And out of all the stuff that happened to me, I'm realizing more is God's show me like he gave me voice. You know what I'm saying? He helped me stand up for myself. He stood up for me. You know what I'm saying? He helped me stand up for myself too. You know what I'm saying? Like that choice. Like he's like, yo, I know this people don't want to hear you. I said didn't want to hear it. But there's other people around that maybe did. And maybe they did get that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this until I know. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know. It's by God's grace. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Although, I just want to make sure that I am actually being obedient and pleasing Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a righteous feeling. Like, yo, you're almost saying, I need that. You know what I'm saying? As a man, even 34 years old, I need that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? Which is God. He's my father and my mother. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I've ever. He's all I've ever had. You as human being wise, I have not had a father or a mother my entire life. I'm 34 years old. You know what I'm saying? As far as brothers and sisters go, on how a family should function. I have not had that my entire life. You know what I'm saying? In that way, although He has brought people who love on me, help mold me and shape me and discipline me and teach me and guide me, that He's done through a black, white, so on and so forth backgrounds, all kinds of different religions too. A lot of them people didn't agree with their religions. You know what I'm saying? But I say that because seeing where I came from, you know what I'm saying? And the diversity with that, and when it comes to the purposes of reconciliation, and even when the stranger is willing to seek his ways, why you would treat them as like family, you know what I'm saying, versus treating them like dog shit, you know what I'm saying? But the clear difference is when you're seeking God's ways to do it. That's the difference. If they're not seeking God's ways and to do walk in his ways, his laws, statutes, and judgments, do them, you're not gonna keep coming in. You son of a bitch. Ugh. I love you though. Oh, I forgive you. I love you. Fuck you. I mean, I still need you. I still love you, bro. Love you. What? No, 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 no. You gonna stop hitting me, nigga? Listen here, boy. You know what I'm saying? No, you not messing today. No more.
Alright? This ain't how it's going down. This ain't the 411. No. Kid, don't play that, yo. No. Uh-uh. No more. I'm breaking your motherfucking wrists. Period. In your whole name. I'm not playing it no more. You gonna get your shit busted. Fucking around with me. You gonna fuck around and find out. You're not gonna use these wrists hands to hurt me or anybody else. If I know about it and I can reach you, nobody. No. No. We're not just gonna do that again. Okay? Okay, everybody. They gotta physically come up to you and break the shit. I mean, if you want me to, I can. And I probably would feel brother laugh, literally. Like literally, I get hurt at times. I laugh. It hurts like shit, but I'm laughing. I dropped the whole fucking ass 500-pound generator on my toe. And thank you guys that didn't break my toe, let alone my foot. And I laughed. I was like, ah! And it started laughing. It hurt so bad, all I could do was laugh. That's like, I got hurt pretty bad, and I laughed. That's probably why they were like, oh, you're crazy. Because if you're feeling pain like that, you should not be laughing so hysterically like that. Like, you know, what does that? I do. For sure. That's that Isaac in me. Yeah, buddy. I do. You gotta have some. Production of character. And many times I'm saying, writing nuts out loud. Like I choose to laugh. It's the only emotion I can get out is when we're got to let people like this. Are you laughing because you're in pain? And they couldn't figure it out. It's like, you'll know why. The rest is just mystery. So, um, a lot of that's like too much overloaded programming for cartoons and stuff like that. Which is another reason why a lot of people that don't watch cartoons. Dial. Like no, I don't. What is the first thing? What's the first way to be? What's the first thing to do to be on your way to the road of recovery? You have to admit you have a problem. Okay? Say it with me. You, I, be talking, speaking, I said talking and speaking to myself, to yourself, and go into character like pretty quick. I have a wonderful personality. You laugh fucking out completely how you made this well. You'll be like, yeah! And won't let you go to your spine before it starts like radiating and pulsating to the point where it's like you give a laugh until you ooh, boy, have you literally ever laughed until you feel
fell asleep so hard you couldn't motherfucking breathe. And then you breathed, and then like a couple breaths later, he was out of, he got the heck out of Dodge. He was asleep. Night night bill.
But I have to tell my testimony. You'll come by, as they say, the blood of the lamb, by the word of the testimony. We are the lambs that have been sent to the slaughter, right? So we being the only begotten Son of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Tilly, Mom, Johnny's not cleaning his room. Umber, like they do. Umber. So many people do not even remember. It's like hogs. From Mashak, anointed, usually a consecrated person as a king, priest, or saint, specifically the Messiah, anointed Messiah, saint, Hebrew, Messiah. So we're consecrated people. We're royal priesthood. Are we the Messiah? We're the only begotten Son, the firstborn Son of the Most High Yah. If the Messiah is sitting at the right hand of the Father, would that not be his firstborn Son? Israel. Christianity and their gospel, which is the satanic Bible, what they added in and took out from our history, our set of our scriptures and stuff like that, and traditions and stuff, our covenant, sacred. This is how they got the entire world deceived. And I know that that's exactly how that lines up. Now, like brother Prince David said it first, you know what I'm saying? But now that I can see that more fully, I was showing me already. I'm like, okay, that makes it's pretty clear. The whole world is deceived by sorcery and stuff like that. But did anybody know the hierarchy with the popes and stuff like that? Where they control that shit. Since they used to take 1666, since they humane actually stuff like that. Slavery, Christians taking slaves, stuff like that. Christianity is. The slave drive is the masses, right? The masses for the masses. On the road to Damascus, destruction. Hallelujah. It's captivated. It's deep, you know what I'm saying? But it's the mindset of the Satanists that was taught to their children to enslave creation, to annihilate creation from yeah, Satan's children. God in the book of Enoch, he promised to destroy them. Edom, you know what I'm saying? Like the words of Nicolations he hates. There was whole tribes of people. King of AI and certain stuff like these were Nephilim giant offspring.
Professor Hank, the mutant he turned into is a beast, and he was a geneticist. One of the few things that he did. A lot of people don't realize it, don't either. Logan, Professor Logan, or Wolverine, after he went through the Super Soldier program, Stryker Island and stuff like that, that he volunteered for, he got his bones covered with adamantium and stuff like that, which heightened his mutant abilities that he already had. Um, he was a chemist and a scientist at one point in time. And it was interesting to me how um, that whole thing with uh, with Marvel and stuff like that. That's why it's not right to be wicked, man, because people don't remember your name after a while. I remember his face. Uh, Old white guy, glasses and stuff, Stanley thing. How I picked up on it years ago, like this was a revelation. Like this man was aware of what was going on, and he was speaking through the cartoons um, very clearly about what would be happening over time. So, like, every time the Gentiles will be ending, when it's ending, God's tearing it down. He's moving it. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people are rising and moving. That's all there is to it. It is what it is. That's because God's will. Like, why don't you want shalom, bro? Like, why you can have that, but like, what is it about that? That people, like, I can see why you say because you're so used to one thing and stuff like that, it doesn't make sense to leave that. Like, and then the fears that people have as far as like leaving that one, that. So, like, I can see, but I don't sympathize with it anymore. Like, I used to. It's like, many people they don't even want to try. They're willingly ignorant. And that's where it's like you can use their own scriptures to undo the whole point of their mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's a narrative that has been made up, and they invented Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They invented this false Messiah. They invented, their way of controlling people through mind control and stuff like that. They invented a lot of stuff. You know, just like they're like, black people are always slaves. Not all black people are slaves. There's some black people that haven't been in slavery again, like Esau. You know what I'm saying? Um, and this gentrification thing that they don't got going on now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to. I can't. I can't believe that I acted so retarded and trying to fit in. Like desperately, like to the point, like whatever happened to me, I didn't fucking care. I just wanted to be loved. I didn't fucking love anything. You know, so it's like I was crazy. But in that sense, I can agree with you. I was crazy. Like why? Now you start seeing your own sins mocking you. Is how I put it. That's how I felt. Like my own sins was mocking me. They just laughing like ha 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 ha. You're so stupid. Like yeah, you was right. I was stupid. I was that word that you put me in the category of labeling this word that categorize. That's a word. Okay. So laugh.
I gotta work on that too. So I'm not calling myself weird. Joke around with you, like weirdo. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I know you're freaking me. You know, and that's not a problem. You know, so why permit anybody to make it seem like that? It is 4:36. I had no plans to be on here. Almost 3 hours in like 2 minutes. I just did a video earlier that was like, I don't know, an hour or so maybe. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to get on here all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hallelujah, I just want to praise you. And be me doing it. Like, I'm not saying that everything that I'm saying is right or trying to justify it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spent too many years trying to be like other people, to please other people. You know what I'm saying? To be acknowledged by other people as a human being. You know what I'm saying? And then as a son or a man, you know what I'm saying, or something. You know what I'm saying? Those all mindsets that I was in. It's like when I was like, I used to call myself a monster. That's what people call me a monster. You know what I'm saying? I used to freaking sit there and attack people just because I wanted to watch them play. You know what I'm saying? I'd use my background. I seen something as an excuse because these brainless weirdos didn't realize that this shit wore off for me a long time ago. They was pumping me up. You know what I'm saying? Depakote, Cerazone, Prozac, Abilify, um, Clonidine, um, Zoloft. Then you got Benzapine, Mirtazapine, and the Albuterol inhaler, and some other shit that I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? All these different multivitamins for iron. Like, I had kidney failure. You know what I'm saying? And when doctors, got to the point where I hear people like, you have to do tranquilizer groups, or if it's a small child, it takes big. You know what I'm saying? Or you taking the whole pharmacy. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I mean, it looks like all this, but it doesn't look like that much. I feel like people exaggerate. I did my own research years about it. I was something like they was not really trying to suppress me, but they was trying to keep me unalive, unbreathed, unbreathable. 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 I'm like, you're trying to unlive me. I don't want to sound like everybody. They tried to make me unbreathable. Forever. And then make sure they surround me with enough demons of all kinds of weird kinds that I've experienced encountered to make sure that I couldn't be brought back to that evil. That nigga just died in the middle of the yard. I was like, on. And he brought him back. And it changed everybody's lives. The worst case of history in the state of Colorado for child abuse. I wonder if I can still find it now. Still researching. They definitely switched the story about live insurance. They know that. So. We're going incognito. I'm going incognito. Huh? Um, Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Father, for another day. Check all robbers, all thieves, all witches, witchcraft, sorcery, out. Do not give me to walk fear us, to walk fear the power, love, of sound mind. And where you are, who's in me, world, property, the miracles, I put your blood in this video, these these channels, all of our devices, all those who hear, you set free, heal them, Father God, and guide them, draw them to you, so they can get what you need, for them to have those things, let them have an open mind, open ear to hear you, and to be sure about perception, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get the meaning of what's going on, not just, they'll come here to judge and criticize and all this stuff, like, they don't know my character that I used to, mindset, how I operate, how I think. All the effects, all the tears, all the deposits, all the offering, food, drink, whatever it is, all the something spiritual, all the body out. I decree this day that you have promised us. These things are it is in short Christ, further enforce and advance us and help us, Father God. Close the wrong doors, wicked doors, gateways, open stuff like that, seal them, Father God. And open up to us the right doors that you have for us to walk through. And provide for us for our bills, our light bills, gas bills, water bills, whatever we need, Father God. Please in this day, according to our needs and according to your will, Father God, so that we will continue to give you glory, so that we're able to give you glory. What can we do for you today? I thank you for my wife. I thank you for our children. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for, yeah, I thank you for my wife. I thank you for our children. I thank you for our marriage. I thank you for new beginnings. I thank you for our people. I thank you for helping me share my testimony a little bit more, a little bit deeper, a little bit more thorough part of it, and I thank you for adding to our testimonies. I thank you for just every the shifts that are taking place, that you're working for us, Father God. You're helping us for your name's sake to be all the glory. I just want to exalt you and glorify you. I just want to do it in a way that's pleasing to you. I want to grow, I want to learn, and I want to be where you want us to be in a position and have the tools to help our people, Father God, help my family, and help our people so that we're provided for, you know what I'm saying, and sustained and secure, you know what I'm saying, and established and fortified and settled and deeply rooted and planted, in a position where we're to be at, and swiftly and quickly, you know what I'm saying, according to your promise and your time, and just let go of what we need to let go of. We need the tools and substance and resources to do that. And I ask that you give us instruction, Father God. Search our hearts, get out of me and remove from me at the root and see the thought, anything and all things that's opposed to you. Whatever spirits, covenants, I break agreements with them. I sever them, let them be severed, sever them in their root, in unknown places and the known places, Father God, that you see. Anything that's in me that's not of you, with you, or for you, you know what I'm saying, and opposed to you, I ask you to remove it now. All of it, every residue, and to see the thought, I don't care what is, if it's stubborn, if I feel like I'm going to just get rid of it, just get rid of it. I want to live and live life more abundantly and overabundance. I want to just be and be who you say I am. For my wife to be who who you say she is. For our children to be who you say they are. For our people to be and be who you say they are, and all that you have promised and agreed to us. And I ask you to shut the mouths of these liars and naysayers of all fear, that we laugh in the face of fear. And I ask that you continue to please trouble those who trouble us, fight against those who fight against us, be an adversary to our adversaries. You say you will decree
established is finished already. It has been finished. It's here. It's now. So I thank you, Father, y'all. I ask that you seal this in your name and your word and by your ruach, your royal blood that is in us. Let the truth remain in us, Father, y'all. Let us remain in the truth. It is you. Please comfort us, heal us. We release joy in this day and send forth your favor and your grace, your mercy to cover us, to keep us, to guard us, to protect us. Let us rest and let it be easy. Let nobody trouble us or cause any problems, no anxiety, you know what I'm saying? No fear, no doubt, no bad dreams. Let us rest and easy. Let us rest and laugh in our dreams. Like we want to live, Father. God. Some of us want to do right. Some of us want to do different. You know, we want to live in a way that's pleasing to you. From how we eat to how we dress to where we're located. You know what I'm saying? And still use our resources to come together with our people to build the kingdom. And I, for one, I am excited about it. And rightfully so. Like you say we're worthy, then we're worthy. And that's the life that you want for me. And I receive it. And I want it for sure, for sure. You know, I want my children to grow, my children to grow up knowing that they are loved, that they are somebody, that they are worthy, that they're the children of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We're great, we're brilliant, we radiate, that we're adored, we're needed. You know what I'm saying? That we have a purpose. We're not just crazy people or always gonna sit there and suffer and struggle and all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that's in these scriptures that's not accurate, not true, I need to rid my heart from the lies and the deceptions and decisions. But teach me how to use um, the truth of what you revealed to me to undo the lies, to unravel the lies and help set our people free. You know what I'm saying? Through your guidance and your wisdom, from every way that you have for me to learn and to know these things. Even from the New Testament, how to undo those lies, how to break through barriers and walk forward in the power and intuition that you give to me in this earth as it is in Shemaim, so that you will receive all, so that you receive all the glory, honor, and praise, and thanks, and adoration, and be exalted above all things. Remove the false prophets, the false gods, you know what I'm saying, the false teachers, the indoctrinations, like the slave symptomality, if that's a word. You know, so the slave mindset, the backsliding, double-mindedness, like remove it from me, remove it from my life, remove it from our children, remove it from our people, remove it from this house, from out of the memories and stuff like that. Which probably others have to do. I want to do it. I love you and I thank you for another day and rest with us, sleep with us. I ask that you minister to us as we rest and speak healing and life over us. All you give to us, please touch and breathe on all things. Breathe in all things, places, touch all things and cleanse all impurities. Please restore the nutrients of food in all spaces and places. Cleanse our environment of any traumas, any demonic, wicked spirits, in all places that we go. Please guide us safely to and fro. Hide us underneath the shadow of your wings. We're covered in your armor of light. And we are who you say we are. And we thank you, Father God, that you are our Father. You are YAHUAH, you are YAHUAH, you are Amalek. You know what I'm saying? You're our Prince of Shalom. You know what I'm saying? The total Shalom. And embody. You know what I'm saying? We embody total Shalom. That it chased me, and showed me, overtake me, overwhelm me. You know what I'm saying? And it covers me. My marriage, my wife, my children, and all of our people. Shalom, shalom. Name. Please heal the babies, the fatherless, the widows, the orphans, the motherless, the, and nomads out there that's going through it and horrified God. And protect the people that's in the shelters so that they're not getting abused and abused. If they get used, it could be your will, Father, and send me. I will go. Let's do what we gotta do to help our people out. But until next time, y'all willing, I might talk about our experiences in some of the shelters and how y'all worked in me through me. You children like the shelters will never run the same again. And how he literally
everybody in one shelter, except for like one woman um, that was working in one shelter. Like, positive that was like swap. But yeah, word for word, as proclaimed to them. Yeah, there was attitudes and everything behind it, and when it came to pass, like literally like that. Yeah, so I love y'all. Or I adore y'all. Say it like that.